1 year, 365 possibilities. The 2019 goals are out and listed for Nebula Realms. And before I get started, I was stuck in the bowling alley last night when I was trying to play. So I just immediately left. So I'm loading into the Nexus right now. I'm turning this music off. Christmas is over. They need to turn this off. We need to update immediately because people are getting trapped, loading loose. Someone that was a new player contacted me on one of my old videos saying, hey, I want to get into this game because he was watching some of my videos of the game as a PlayStation Home veteran, by the way, a fan of PlayStation Home, and he got into this game, downloaded it. He can't even play it, and because he can't log in. So hopefully, whenever he watches this, if he's out here, I'm gonna get out of this. Chris is over. Snowman needs to be taken down. All this different changes. Turn his music off so I could really just discuss the goals. And something I didn't talk about in my other video, after the New Year's party, was the goals that they're gonna really focus on. I'm gonna list those in the description, and I'm also gonna list them in the comments and pin it so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But what I'm gonna do is just discuss it. I had to just quickly get out of there. You definitely don't probably want to go to the bowling alley. Maybe they probably fixed it out of nowhere. It wasn't a real update, no patch or anything like that today. But let's get into the goals. But from the other post from January 1st, I didn't make a video. I'd rather wait. When I read it, I wanted to wait for the goals to come out first to really just try to discuss it all in one and really get into it. Because I already talked about everything that they did 2018 and one in my overall thoughts. So this is going to really kick it off. So what they're mainly going to focus on right now, they said many of you were asking about the PC release. That's going to be their main focus. That's the first thing that they're going to focus on, which I don't think is very smart, honestly, because that's a separate platform. And just to think about it, because I'm going to say some more things, but they're really going to focus on the PC release first. That's going to be their favorite, their main priority. It says this is our top priority for us, trying to get it on Steam and the Epic Store for us, and this is what we're going to focus on next. And after they get that PC release out, they're going to come out with PlayStation Network trophies, which I don't think is really all necessary, honestly, for a game like this. That should be something taken care of last. Let's get the game performance up. That should be a main priority, but I'm going to discuss that. It's going to be after the PC release, it's going to be the PSN trophies, and then clubs will be implemented after the PC release that they had stated from January 1st. Now today, we have our list of our 2019 goals that I'm going to read off for you guys, and then I'll discuss them. The PC release, just like I just finished talking about and mentioning, for Steam and Epic stores, added PSN trophies. And just as you see the order here, maybe this order is going to be probably what they're going to do. They're probably going to do the goals in this particular order, just like I just mentioned. See how they have PC, the PC version release or the PC release mentioned first. Second, they have the PSN trophies, clubs third, and then they're going to improve their game animation forward as the fourth goal. Massive graphics update. Look, you guys asked about the graphics. I don't even care if they don't even change the graphics for this game. I just want it to run better. I just want more activities, etc. Improve game performance. Make the game more user-friendly. I wonder what they mean by that. Is it not user-friendly? But they should make it, by that, I would take it that, how about a better tutorial so that explains people how to play. How about these navigation or these tabs here being labeled so people can see what they're clicking on and what they're going to get into instead of pressing buttons, because people can't even get past the triangle button. They constantly press the triangle button over and over and they're lost, so they don't really have an idea of what to do and what the control mechanics are, because these players are lost. It needs a better tutorial. So continuing, add more playable content, expand the game with many more public spaces, which I think they honestly should have did from last year. Character editor code rework, regular updates with bug fixes, content and events. Add more third-party companies, so I'm curious to see who they'll pick up next this year. Add inspection feature, and then add player ID feature. And then update, and then this is the last goal, update some current public spaces. They already did that. They already did that. Current public space. If something that needs to be updated as a public space is the Nexus that most of you will guarantee. I guarantee most of you guys will want to see the Nexus different, expanded, and evolved. Because look at these mountains. We're right up here. You can't even go any further. This is just for show. They might as well just make the Nexus back to what it originally was. But I understand why they did this, because it makes everything closer and everything accessible. But why make it closer when you have the navigation menu? See what I'm saying? You have the navigation menu right here. You got the Nexus, the bowling. It doesn't matter how far they are. You don't even have to manually run there like you used to back in the Nexus from day one when I played. They had the Nexus so big where you had to run miles to even try to get to the dome, and then you want to come back to the bowling alley, you had to run across that whole bridge, or like I think it was 2 different bridges in the Nexus. I'm not too sure, but this place needs to be expanded, and I'm just tired of just the same thing over and over. You stop with the clothes, stop with the personal spaces. I was tired of the personal spaces because they overdid it. We got 8 personal spaces basically, or 7.5 to be exact. Because the Moonlight space is just a DLC of the dressing room, basically. It shouldn't be a separate personal space. It's the night cycle of the dressing room. And I already talked about that. But those are all the goals. But I'm going to talk about just the ones. That PC version, if PC release is trying to get that out there, that's going to take a long time. And I'm just going to be real. It took them a long time to even try to get this game to run properly on the PlayStation 4. I was there from the beginning, for every single update that they ever came out with. It was a little bit frustrating for players to try to get into the game right off the bat and try to play. And just like I always say, you were lucky to even try to play for 5 minutes. You play for what, 2 to 3 minutes, and it was guaranteed it would crash, blue screen, it wouldn't even run properly. You wouldn't be able to stay here. You wouldn't be able to, I couldn't even see this guy's name, but you wouldn't be able to stay on the game consistently, because you would have to just hope that you won't get trapped, hope that the game just stays up properly. But guess what they had to do? Zylot had to take the game off the PlayStation Store and make it so they can fix the servers, all that stuff, so they can make it just playable to every other player out there. It wasn't even a public release, so they're probably gonna have to make it do the same thing, because that's going to take a long time to even try to get the servers up, to make it work properly, to code it, and hope that it runs properly, because it's just too much. It's too big of a goal, too huge of a goal, because it's on a separate platform outside of consoles. It's not going to Xbox. It's on a PC. That's the best platform that you can really play. That's high-end graphics, and that's gonna take a lot. I think they should do that last. I don't know about anyone else out there that will agree. That's too big of a task compared to all the goals that you have here. PlayStation trophies that's not needed, clubs, game animations, and then graphics update. You guys I think the number one goal in this, out of all the 2019 goals, I'm going to say to improve the game performance, to make sure it runs properly, and then people that will probably want the graphics right off the bat. But number one, it should be the game performance, because the same issues are happening over and over, where people are trying to get on the game, they can't play, they can't log in, and the same problems keep happening over and over. When you go to these places, sometimes the spaces are not safe to go to when you try to go in and connect. And then you want to try to follow your friends and get together with your group, and then you can't even get to it, and you're forced to stay there, and then they got to come to you. And then when they try to come to you, they won't even probably be able to make it. They're going to get stuck. You see? So I think that should be the main priority. Make sure the game is working, and then make sure people can. And then I'll say right after that, outside the graphics, I'm not even a graphics gamer, because I'm a gamer from the 90s, playing these old school games for PS1, Sega Genesis and all. I don't even really care if they don't change the graphics. I'm cool with that. But let's get our avatar somewhere life, looking like zombies, not blinking and barely breathing. So I think the game performance should be the number one priority. And then let's see. Expand the game with public spaces. Number 2. That's my number 2. And then number 3, regular updates, consistent updates with bug fixes and content events. And then I'm gonna slide in here another personal goal of mine that I will put on that list. How about some consistent communication with your community? How about some consistent posts from everyone else that's probably just following you on Twitter and on Facebook? Well, Twitter and Instagram, they don't really get the love that they have if they don't have a Facebook, and maybe don't want to just go on Facebook and make one. Not that you need a Facebook to be notified. All you got to do is just go to facebook.com/Nebula Realms and head over there. Even if you are not signed in, you can still head over there and check out the goals. But just all the posts, Facebook gets all the love. Where are we going to even get our ideas out there to try to share the information and discuss the problems? And some individual support would be cool, where instead of just email stuff over and over, send all these emails over and over just to notify people just spamming emails to them like this. Like they're thinking that they have an individual support service, but they don't. The email purpose, the purpose of the email is just supposed to notify them of the bugs. It tells them what's going on. But you got guys like this running around cluelessly, and how do they expect to get the help from these individual players that are not going to show them how to play? It's going to take too long to even try to show them and give them a tutorial of how to play this game to get into it as a new player. They're going to be lost, and then when something comes up and they have an individual problem, how can they expect to get some kind of help and some kind of support? Maybe that has something to do with user-friendly. But how about some consistent communication? You guys got to talk and post something. Even if you guys don't have any updates, just like I said, don't be afraid to come out with a post and let people know what's going on. So you got people in the know, in the dark, in the light, instead of just sitting here just running around cluelessly having the same problems happen over and over. But just like I said, those are the top issues, the top goals that should be taken care of. If the game doesn't, I'm just saying it just to be honest, if the game does not run properly on PlayStation 4, what do you think those PC players or those they say PC Master Race, I have to say it, PC Master Race, and some of the best place you could play over there with high-end graphics and games run so much better on PC, what most people will arguably say. But if the PlayStation 4 version doesn't work properly and having all these problems, maybe you should make sure the console version is running up to par before you even try to make sure you put a game on a different platform, because they're going to be in the same nightmare and the same problems and go through those same things, the same identical things that we did from the beginning, trying to get the game to run properly and just all those different bugs and issues. They're going to have the same ones trying to get on. And that's a lot of people. It's not just people in the United States. It's other people outside the country that own PC. Who knows? Not every PC player is probably going to have the patience to put up with this. Because when they get a PC game, to be real, they're going to expect the game to be ran properly. That's what they're going to expect. They want the game to be ran properly. They're going to be all over them. And who could blame it if they do? Because they got to make sure it runs properly. They're going to need a lot more help. They're going to need a bigger team than what they have to even try to come out with a PC release. And that's going to take too long. So I think they got to get just like I said, the game performance needs to be number 1. That's priority number 1. The regular updates with bug fixes number 2. And then come out with public spaces as number 3. Expand the public spaces and more content, and then you could do the rest of the goals and stuff like that. And then number 4, maybe the clubs and stuff, so we have more activities and stuff that we can get into instead of the same thing, because we don't even go here. You got all these people and this is the most populated area that everyone's understand. Look, everyone's standing around in the same spot. It's just ridiculous. It's just seeing all this, and it's just a mess. And I can't even imagine how the PC players are going to feel just seeing all this. I just have no idea how this is going to play out, but a PC goal, that's a huge goal. to try to get it out on a separate platform. But I'm not going to go anywhere, and there hasn't been an update or some kind of patch. I'm going to stay right here in the Nexus. I don't know about any other places that's I had to mute my microphone just to share. I didn't want to be dying over the microphone as I try to explain these goals, but just I don't know any other places that's unsafe. See how somebody just came on? Somebody, I seen her. I recognize her name. She hasn't even been on this game for months. Sweetie Soul. I'm just being real. She has not been on this game for several months. And basically for half of 2018, she missed out on tons of updates. But she probably crashed. See? Probably in that loading loop. So that's why I said, don't go to the bowling alley. I don't even think it's safe. I'm not going anywhere else until they update this game. And I'm curious to what you guys think that they should work on. I definitely want to see public spaces. And I don't know what any other updates for these current what are they going to update? I think if any public space I would love to see updated, I would say the beach would be pretty cool. Put some sharks in water. Maybe some actual other brand new beach mini game. Just playing around with the sharks. But a new mini game for the beach, public space, definitely the Nexus. But we already had our updated remakes of the Leap Part. If they're gonna add more stuff to the Leap Part, take out the moon bounce or the moon bounce house or whatever. Just update it. I love it, but just like you can't really jump how you want to jump. The raid space was rushed, in my opinion. It should be a lot more stuff here. The DJs at the dome are still ghosts and invisible, looking like Casper. Who's controlling those beats for the music? We need better. And speaking of music, we need better music. We need brand new music instead of the same songs over and over. Let's get us some variety of music. The only good thing about the raid space is that it has some great music. It has better music compared to all the other places that you're not going to get and be able to listen to there in any other public space in the game. So I'm curious to see what they do. You got to make sure the game is up to. You got to make sure your game is working on the platform first before you try to come out with a separate release on a different platform. That's just too big of a task for them to even try to get into, and that's going to take a long time. We got to make sure our game works. You know how to fix those problems with the current games and in front of the current console before that. You know, it's as exciting as it is for them to try to expand. Why isn't it? How come it's just coming to PC? They don't want to go to Xbox? I wonder. But then, just like I said, it's just a bigger platform and more advanced platform too, because that's just too big of a task. They don't want to rush that. That's going to take some time. A PC Steam platform coming out there for free, trying to bring a whole new generation of players. That's not going to be able to put up with it. But those are my thoughts. Those are the goals. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But we are in need of an update because it's too many people getting stuck. It's lagging. We need to take the snow out. Take the snow out. Snowman, it's January 3rd, day 3 of 2019. I'm hoping that they do better this year. I want them to see them do better. But I'm gonna say this to wrap it up. If they really want to compete, they gotta compete with Abby Light. But with these kind of updates and the game's having the same problems, they're not gonna be able to compete that well. So your main priority should be trying to fix your game to make sure your current game and release on a certain platform is working properly, because the same problems continue to happen. They're supposed to fix and get rid of those problems, not create more of the same problems and even brand newer bugs and break something else. Because it's like you create something new and it's like, oh well, I just basically broke something else. I made a new project. But hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, I made a new product and created something, but hey, it's something that I'm showing it off to the public, but something else is wrong with it. It's not all the way finished. It's something wrong with the product that I'm showcasing into the audience in my community. I have the product made, but it's necessarily finished. It's something else that's broken. There's something really wrong with it. It's a malfunctioning, but that's something that should be taken to under investigation. You gotta test these updates, and that's something else that I almost forgot to mention. I hope that they test these updates when they come out with them. Don't just throw them out there. Test them, make sure they work, so people don't have the same problems, and make sure these games work too. Because Memory On is the worst mini game I have ever played in this game. It's lagging, but I just don't even want to play it. I just don't even want to play that game. I play Jungle Mini Golf. I'll go back and play that. And speaking of mini games, real quick, when is the pinball returning? That's my game. That's my mini game for Nebula points. I hope they bring that back. But it's just so many problems that's happening right now. I'm just hoping that they bring out something to really get people to want to play it and try to compete and keep people try to keep playing this game, because they're gonna already lose when Abdullah comes out. It doesn't matter if it's coming out this month or the next month or the next month after that or the month after that or the month after that. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that it's coming out this year. People are already getting excited for it. They're making moves. They gotta make some moves themselves for this game, because there's only so much that people are going to be able to tolerate. And I gotta keep saying it over and over. Those PC players will not have the patience to try to pull up with these issues on the advanced platform, on their super ultra mega powerful PCs. They're not going to have the patience for it. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about the goals. But those are my honest thoughts. The PC is not that important. It's a good goal, very amazing goal, but that's not a priority. You have to make sure your game works first.